Welcome to CPAC Now America Uncanceled, a very special episode. It's not just America Uncanceled, it's America at Christmas.
I love
Merry
that.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, and Merry Christmas to all of our wonderful viewers. We couldn't do this without you. We're so blessed that you're part of the CPAC family, and it's been a great joy for us to bring you this show on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but you can, of course, watch it at any time. And then we have our friend Bill Walton, who always gives such a great insight into, I always say he's like the intellectual show.
He's unwoke PBS, although there's no public money involved in his show either.
No, that's right. But, we want to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas. This is a time where I know for us, Matt, we really try to just take it a couple steps down, really spend time with the family, and also, prepare ourselves for the coming of Jesus's birth and ask ourselves, are we even ready? Are we taking the time spiritually to know what God is wanting us to do, and also being hopeful that Jesus Christ will be born, and he is the light, especially during these moments of darkness that we've experienced in this world, especially in the past year.
That's for sure. And I think that at this year it's particularly important. We lean on our faith a lot during these moments because we live in this crazy city, Washington, D.C. We're outside the swamp here, and it's sad to see all the rising crime. It's sad to see ever since the mayor thought she was going to make a national name for herself by being the first city to paint Black Lives Matter and defund the cops, and we've had a double-digit increase in murders. Obviously, a lot of those victims are people of color. We've seen a 45% increase in carjackings, just violence everywhere. And then you have the other side of it, which is everybody who's trying to run a business. I won't tell Mercy that I've been to a jewelry store recently, but I have been, but I guess I shouldn't say that. But
well, it is my birthday and Christmas coming up, okay?
Anyway,
normally I get like the one gift. That's kind of the deal here.
And jewelry is
you all understand who have your birthdays around Christmas.
And jewelry's a lot cheaper than steak these days, so that was just easier to get that. But no, the point is everyone's struggling, including these people running restaurants, running shops, getting the employees, trying to dodge this problem with crime, and to really see the dysfunction of our nation's capital, and obviously with people like Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and Joe Biden, pushing this propaganda about how America is a bad place. I just think we need to recede from that for a period of time, from the war, this fighting that we're always in, and remember what's important. And we really have to ask God to bless our land. I don't think we'd have America without God's blessing. Mm-hmm. And we really need to be worthy of his blessing once again. And that's kind of my prayer for the new year, is that we're worthy, because without America, the world's a dark place.
No, that's right. And I think, it's every little thing right now as I'm talking to people just across the country. I had this experience over at Wegmans where I went to go grocery shopping.
Isn't that kind of a pricey place to go shopping?
No, it's not. It's actually like more, it's pretty affordable.
You sure?
And then, we were using our plastic bags. All of a sudden, they take the plastic bags away, and then they're charging you 5 cents per paper bag.
The plastic bags like kill ducks or something.
I know, but it helps to pick up dog poop at the same time if you have a couple dogs. It's so insane where in the moments where people are like, food prices are up, you're paying more for gas. And then on top of that, you have a grocery store adding 5 cents per paper bag. It's like, how much more stress are you going to keep adding on to the average American family? And I think it's just like such an outrage of how disconnected I find many of these businesses are, many of what the administration is, where they think they can spend their way out of these problems, where all we're leading to is to more inflation, more increase of prices across the board, and it's just putting an enormous amount of stress on our families. And so during this Christmas time, it's an important time to give. It's an important time to remember those who are less fortunate, the vulnerable families. Visit your food banks, help provide support. We have one here locally called Mother of Light, which is an amazing food bank service for the families here in this area in Alexandria. And it's really remembering that, during Christmas time, it is about making sure we take care of our neighbors as well.
And I'll tell you the other thing, that one of the great things about living here, and I know this is happening all across the country and really the world, is I was driving by Arlington National Cemetery, and they were starting to put out the wreaths on all the tombs with the pretty red bows, and all the volunteers were putting them out. So in the middle of craziness here, you also see decency, tradition, honoring those who were brave, And so there's still a lot to hold on to that's happening that are good lessons for everyone. So my question for you, we're talking a lot about
I always
Christmas.
ask you questions, Sean.
No, I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
We're talking a lot about Christmas.
Yeah.
But 2022, okay, it's going to be a great year for Republicans, even though the elephant is pretty good at pooping in the middle of the street. But it's going to be
Use a plastic bag to pick up the elephant poop.
It's going to be a great year for Republicans.
Right.
For yourself, do you have a resolution, a New Year's resolution?
You know, it's always funny because you always get like this list of resolutions, and sometimes I keep them. You know, it's like, oh, I got to exercise more, I got to eat healthier. You know, you get the big list. For me,
the Cubans never give up sweets. I just want you to know that's never part of it.
That is true. That is accurate. Neither do the Germans, Schwab, I'm convinced.
Strudel,
German, Irish, yeah, you know. But I think I think one of the positive effects that have come out of COVID has been really learning the Bible, praying more. We really have turned off the TV, and as we've said before, just have sat together in the morning, drinking our cup of coffee, reading scripture, and really learning about, the message of hope, the message of salvation that comes from the Bible. And I feel that that's going to be a big, important part of my 2022, which is continuing to strengthen my spiritual life and continue to pray for what God wants for me, for you, for our family.
Yeah,
how about you?
I agree with that. We turned off the TV, and I love television. Everybody who knows me knows I love television. And now I get annoyed if I hear television because it's just kind of like, it's loud, and most of the programming is obnoxious. So,
right. What's your New Year's resolution?
Well, you won't like it, but I'm going to pull out my 6-hour 45, and I'm going to do some target shooting over Christmas. I have a couple of other guns. I'm going to practice my shooting. I don't do that enough when I'm out there. I think that's an important skill for all of us. I love it when the girls learn to shoot. I'm actually not the right person to teach them because
gun safety.
My knowledge base is low, but
right.
We have some wonderful friends out in the mountains that have that skill, and they love to teach them. The other thing is that I think that I need to spend more time discovering all those trails around our great place out in the country. We have that countryside is gorgeous out there.
Yeah.
And it's time for us to go discover it.
Yeah.
And
Virginia is beautiful. I mean,
it's time for us to put our phones down and for us to not worry so much.
And you were out in Madison County giving a great speech to all these wonderful Republicans out there. How is that in general? I mean, the people there are just we love them. They've also become part of our family. And, what was your sense when you were out there? Are they hopeful for next year?
Well, our great team taped it, so I hope everyone...
It is. It's going to be a show.
Yeah, I hope everyone gets to see it.
2 shows next week. Yeah.
It was really, to me, I walked in, and this wonderful pastor who we know, who we've been at different events with, was up there, and they were singing Christmas carols, religious Christmas carols. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Christmas, it's got Christ in it. Don't tell the other people in the world that think that this is a secular holiday.
Right.
And by the way, holiday, that's holy day. I mean, we got to tell these people these things.
Right,
They've
right,
forgotten all these
right.
things. But they were singing their carols, and everybody was spunky and happy, and they had a great home-cooked meal of chicken and steak and some kind of cool corn casserole thing, and of course a great home-baked muffin, and just wonderful people. And they had great questions, and we had fantastic conversations. I saw the family of our dear friend Bruce, who's no longer with us. They came out to say hi. Bruce had helped us when we first bought our place out there, learn about the land. He taught me about what was on our land. And, there's nothing like a mountain man to teach you about how things work. They're very practical people. And for those of us who spent most of our time being reared in the cities, let me tell you, folks, we're really screwed when it goes down because we don't know anything. All we know how to do is call Uber Eats to get dinner. These people could make dinner off what's grown on a tree.
Yeah.
And so they're amazing people.
Yeah, they are. It is amazing. And it's what makes America amazing. It's, really getting to, as we've traveled around the country in this past year and we reflect back to 2021, I think one of my favorite memories will be meeting so many great Americans who love this country, who understand the importance of our freedoms, who really appreciate the work that we're doing at CPAC in defending the constitutional rights of all Americans. And we look forward to meeting many more of you out there as we go back on the trail next year.
Yeah, let me interject here. I just want to say I'm very proud of what the work the staff has done at CPAC to grow this organization. I'm very proud of all the volunteers and all the people who play a big role. We can't tell you, we were just with people from New Jersey over the course of yesterday, and they love watching the show. They're getting really excited about CPAC in Orlando. We're going to have another call tomorrow with our grassroots supporters all across the country, talking about what they can do to push back on this 1-6 commission. What I really am proud of is the way people have stepped up to try, yes, to help our organization. That's great, but what's more important, that's in order to help the cause of freedom. And the most important cause of freedom is saving and defending America and then exporting that overseas. So I just want to give a big Merry Christmas and thank you to everyone who works really hard at CPAC, to everyone who supports us, all of our donors. I don't know how to quite explain what's going on at CPAC, but it's really a beautiful thing. The growth, the way people have really been calling us to volunteer and to give their treasure and their talents. I mean, a lot of our donors are interesting because they don't just write a big check, then they want to keep working with us. They want to have calls.
Yeah.
Like it keeps going because they're very worried about their country, and I think everybody who's important in our life feels the same way. This is our great mission. And in the book that's coming out, The Desecrators, in February, the book I co-authored with Deal Hudson, I pen a little letter to our girls in there, and I kind of apologize for what they have to go through being our kids, but by the same token, it's important that they understand that everybody has a purpose, and I think our purpose is to be very engaged right now in what's going on in our country.
That's right. And so we do want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas as we go through this really special season as we prepare for the coming of Jesus Christ. And, it is always, I think, those days of hope and the days of light and the days of joy and the days of peace. And that's what we should all be praying for as we go into the new year. So Merry Christmas to all. And here's a wonderful video of some of our incredibly talented, hardworking, tirelessly working staff who we are so grateful for all their incredible work that they do every single day to make sure that we continue to spread this message of freedom to the nation and across the globe. Take a listen.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, y'all, and Happy New Year.
Merry, Merry Christmas from my family to yours. Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
I wanted to wish you a very Merry Christmas and an even better New Year.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.